Hello, my name is Blake, and welcome back to another video. I'm here today talking once again about Glqmrous, otherwise known as Sam, or Now. I have discovered she is known under a couple of other aliases on platforms such as TikTok and Instagram. I'm coming back to you again today about this person because they are still doing things which they were doing before, and some other things which I thought needed to be brought up. And before this video starts, I just want to mention that I am going to try and keep this video as unopinionated as possible, and I want to try and only use facts and known information. I don't want to let my opinion seep through, and I also would like to mention that I did try and reach out to Sam before I made this video to see if she'd like to make a comment against these accusations, and she did not reply in time for me to make the video. But yeah, with that said, let's go ahead and carry on. So as it does go a lot of the time, first off, this started with a tweet from an anonymous account, and if you already have seen this tweet and the thread that followed and you don't want to hear it again, go ahead and skip to this time on screen. But basically, I'm going to go ahead and read through this entire thread so you can understand what is going on. Alright, so the thread starts off here just with a simple tweet with a trigger warning of everything that will be following in the tweets below. And if any of these things do trigger you, please go ahead and skip the time that was previously listed on the screen. Let's just go ahead and get into the thread. So there was an original first tweet, but that was deleted for some reason. I am not sure why. A few months ago, a mutual of mine had retweeted something of hers, which led me to stalk her profile. I found a tweet where she had posted her Discord server link. I was in need of new friends, so I decided to join. Sam had loads and loads of people in her Discord server, so I had no way of reaching her through there, so I decided to DM her on Instagram. She replied very quickly and we started talking. Fast forward to 2 weeks later, she had given me her phone number and asked if we could FaceTime. I gave her my phone number and then proceeded to FaceTime her. It was super innocent and fun, and I was finally making some new friends and going out of my comfort zone. We started talking 24/7, but one night, she asked me to block all of her friends. So I did. I asked why, but she said that it's just for the best, so I blocked all her friends. The next night, Sam messaged me and told her she was getting attacked on Twitter and that I had to go and defend her. So I got on Twitter and see that somebody had posted a thread about her grooming them. His Twitter is Luke Loves Candy. This topic was covered in my previous video. If you have not seen that yet, the link will be in the description. I asked her if it was true regardless of all the proof he had posted. She said no, he just wants clout, and left it at that. I should clarify, this took place 2 years ago. Sam was 19 at the time and Luke was 15. This was during her relationship with Clay, Dream, and after he found out she groomed somebody, he proceeded to get back with her. Fast forward to another week later, Sam messaged me saying, dude, I just realized how fucked up I am. I literally cut myself deeper every time somebody rejects me or say they don't want me. And then she added, I'm sorry, that was a lot. I don't want to scare you away. Everyone leaves me and I really don't want you to do the same. I felt uncomfortable, but I also felt very bad for her, so I continued to speak to her. One night she messaged me saying that a girl on Twitter was tweeting mean things about her. I'm sorry, Nat, I can't say your name. She sent me to go and attack her, but once I looked at Nat's tweets, I realized she's also a victim of Sam. Not a victim of Sam grooming her, but a victim of doxing, manipulation, slut-shaming, and being told to kill herself, all by Sam. So I refused to attack her, and Sam proceeds to say, but she has an OnlyFans, lol, slut behavior. I replied saying, ha ha ha, stop, and she said, please attack her. And I said, my mom goes through my phone and I don't want her to see it. So it's best if I don't, and she said, whatever. 2 days later, she messages me saying she's gonna kill herself and says goodbye to me and then ghosts me for 24 hours. I stayed up all night constantly checking Twitter, Instagram, iMessage, Discord, TikTok, and Snapchat waiting for her to reply. I was terrified. I stayed up all night just waiting and waiting. She finally comes back and says, sorry, I just needed a break. I forgave her. Over the next 3 weeks, this was an ongoing cycle. She did this almost every single night. I'm only 16. I should not have to be staying awake every night, all night, crying to find out if my 21-year-old friend is alive or not. And since she had me block every single one of her friends, I had nobody to reach out to or ask if she was okay. I just had to wait. One night I decided to call her out and say, Sam, I understand you're going through a hard time, but please don't say you're going to kill yourself and then disappear. It leaves me worried sick. And then she said, "Are you going to leave me too? I knew it, you're just like Clay. He was just like this. Fuck you." I got scared and said, no, I'm staying. Please don't hurt yourself. Please put yourself in my shoes and try to understand." And she said, "If I was in your shoes, I'd want me dead. Trust me, I'm trying. I'm trying to kill myself for you. I want you to be happy." And quickly, out of fear, I apologized to her and told her it's okay and that I'm not leaving her. Then one night, she messaged me speaking to me in a romantic/sexual way. It made me very uncomfortable, but I remembered what she said earlier in our friendship. I cut myself deeper every time I get rejected. I felt so bad and I played along. And I didn't stop her. She also in the same messages added, "Nobody wants me," and once again I felt bad and played along. I'll attach the screenshots. I'll put these screenshots up on the screen now, but I am not going to read these screenshots as some of these get very specific and I really do not want to read that, especially for the context that it could be taken out of. But yeah, just go ahead and read these up on screen if you guys would like to. I tried to post a TikTok about the things she has done, but it got taken down for violating community guidelines. Many of you may have seen it. She told me her plan was to manipulate Dream into forgiving everything she has done and get him to tweet about her so she can get clout and sympathy. She knew that he's a forgiving person with a kind nature, so she mentioned that it would be able to make him feel bad for her if she said, "My mental health makes me do these things." Mental health doesn't make you a groomer or a pedophile. That is not an excuse, but he fell for it. He knows she has done these things. Many of us victims, I won't say who, have spoken directly to Clay. He knows. In this tweet, he said that he doesn't want hate being sent on his behalf, which means that he doesn't want drama on his behalf. That did not mean to go glamorize her and allow her to use her mental health as an excuse. She's manipulating her fan base now as well. Realize you're all being used. Hold people accountable for their actions. In these screenshots, she proceeds to say things related to the fact that she wants to pretend that she's sad on a live stream, just basically to manipulate her fans into making edits of her for validation, I guess. I'm not really sure, but that is also the last tweet in the thread. So there was also another tweet put out by another individual known as Curtis, who came out and brought out a twit longer and some more screenshots with him. So first, let's just go ahead and read through the twit longer. If you have read through this twit longer and you don't want to read it again, the timestamp will be up on the screen now for what time to skip to. Hey, this is my side of the story. If you are easily affected by disturbing topics such as suicidal attempts, grooming, and pedophilia, then I recommend you do not continue reading, as I will go into detail about my relationship with Sam and what happened between us. I first met Samantha when we played on Invaded Lands. I was 14/15 at the time and she was 18/19. She was new to the server and created an application to join my clan. After I accepted her and her boyfriend, I found out that her boyfriend was only 15 years old at the time. I really wish I had said something, but I didn't know anything about relationships. I just knew it wasn't normal. I didn't know how serious it was, as people in the community also knew about it and did not seem like it was that big of an issue. At the time, I was pretty known on the server and in the community, as I was a retired staff member on Invaded Lands and owned a popular clan there called Potheads. She mentioned to me that during this time she was very shy and scared of me because of my reputation, and I felt that vibe, so I used to check up on her and make her feel welcome. During this time, we got really close and started talking pretty much every day. She was not happy with her relationship at the time, which was the guy before Dream. I made sure I was always there for her. I always let her rant to me, and I would talk her through situations, etc., which I happily did because I didn't want her to be unhappy. There were a few people in our group, and one of them was Dream. Dream was also there for her during this, which I respected fully. She would flirt with me and stuff, but it never got serious. Shortly after her boyfriend and her broke up, she got with Dream, which I also supported. At first, they seemed really happy, but she started to seem very sad again, so I made sure I was there for her. At the time, we would play Skyblock every single day and pretty much be speaking all the time. She would always rant to me about her relationship with Dream, and she even told me that they broke up, when they did not, to try and keep me there. We were really close at the time. She would also tell me that Dream used to shut her and he used to lose his temper, etc., which is why they broke up. At this time, she was very suicidal and always talked about ending her life. I was still 15 at the time and didn't know how to keep her from doing so. I was also going through life-changing surgery and was really depressed at the time. This is not an excuse, but I always tried my best to be there for her. While she was still with Dream, Samantha and I sexted on Discord, on Snapchat and Discord. I was 15. I was again still 15 at the time. I really regret my actions and wish I did not go along with it. When this was going on, I was stupid and decided to tell one of my friends about it. I didn't realize how serious all of this was. My friend ended up telling Sam, Andrew, and I told him about what was going on with Sam and I. When Dream confronted her about it, she made up a lie and said that I was making it all up. She alleged that I pretended to sex with her to make myself look cool, which she obviously believed, and confronted me about it. I didn't want to expose her at the time because I knew it was just going to make her more upset, possibly harming her well-being. So I didn't show him the proof that we were doing this, and he blocked me as well as Sam. At this time, I was mad at her for lying, so I made a stupid decision to forward some photos she sent me to a friend. I really regret these actions, and the fact that I was 15 obviously does not make it better. I should have known it was a terrible thing to do, and because I did this, the friend I sent them to ended up leaking them. Around 5 or 6 months ago, I contacted her again because I saw her Twitter on my timeline. We started talking again, and I added her on Snapchat. I apologized deeply for everything I did when I was younger, and she forgave me and told me not to worry about it. At this time, I was 17 years old and she was 21. We got insanely close again and started dating. At the time, I was 17 and she told me to lie about my age and say I was 18 to her friends, etc. When I accidentally told someone I was 17, she got mad at me and basically ignored me. Proof will be shown. While Samantha and I were dating, she did some questionable stuff to me. When friends of mine talked shit about Sam, I'd completely cut them out of my life because I did not want that, obviously. I think it was pretty reasonable, but Sam also openly let her best friend talk shit about me, and he even tried exposing me on his Twitter and blocked me so I wouldn't see his thread. He basically tried exposing me for apologizing to him for being toxic to him when I was 16. Sam also took it in her own hands to tell people who openly dislike me about my mental health, which obviously resulted in some verbal abuse at me, but I'm used to that. I just don't know why she would do that while stating me. She shouldn't be able to control who gets to know about someone's mental health. When Sam and I were dating, she quote tweeted a dick pic on Twitter, which I thought was really weird, obviously. I looked into it and saw that she openly let the guy who posted dick pics flirt with her, like her selfies, and follow her and even DM her. I never wanted to confront her about this stuff because she always got mad at me for bringing up stuff that affected me and shamed me for the thing when I did was 15, and to flip the blame on me and always says, what about the good stuff I did for you? Sam also made me feel obliged to block girls that I was friends with. She would get insanely mad if I added a girl to a call or was talking to another girl that she did not like. So I ended up blocking a lot of people for her, which I obviously should not have done. When Sam and I were dating, she was really obsessive about her ex, Dream, and told me multiple things about him to make me dislike him. She told me that he was physically and mentally abusive to her in real life and that he was really ignorant, and told people that he was rich and he doesn't care, etc. She also told me that he was obese and much more other stuff. I do not know how much of this was true, but she shortly switched up and started making TikToks about all the great times they had together because she was gaining attraction and followers from it. I ended up breaking up with her because I physically could not handle everything that she did to me. I blocked her out of my life for a few months and left it like that. After a while, we got back in contact, and I would check up on her to just make sure she was still okay. This was when she was blowing up because of the Dream stuff. She invited me to her Discord, and we were chill for a bit until she banned me, my friend, and I, who was a female, because I was talking to her too much. She blocked me on everything because of this, and she told me she was jealous. So yeah, that is the end of the twit longer. Now, attached to this thread is a couple more tweets from Curtis with pictures in them. The first one here is of Sam openly sexting Curtis while he was underage, and then there's also more screenshots from when he did things that she did not like and the manipulation she was going towards during some of these points. So then, as some may be wondering, yes, this is very immoral and very weird either way, but is it officially illegal? In both cases, it is illegal, and I have verified with both of the posters that it is illegal in their state. So for the anonymous account first, I asked them how old they were and how old Sam was at the time, just to have them say it right there in words. And they were 16 and Sam was 21. So I then asked what the age of consent is in their state, and they said it's 16 for relationships with any age, as long as it's non-consensual. But you must be above, as long as it's non-sexual, but you must be above 18 years of age to have a sexual relationship. Therefore, it was not only immoral and weird, but it was also very literally illegal. In the case of Curtis, I also asked him about what the age of consent would be, and he said it is 16, and he was 15 at the time that Sam and him had relations. So in this case, it was again illegal. So as of now, this is about all I have for you guys. There is some more stuff Sam has done, such as telling other people to kill themselves, mentally abusing them, and other things like that. But that all goes in, there is just so much of that. Just go ahead and look into it on Twitter. I may leave a couple links to other victims that have spoken out down in the description. But also thank you to Quick Soup for all the background footage. It really helped out with getting this video done. And yeah, I'll see all you guys later. Peace.